Welcome to Project One. Building a strong community takes each one of us, and Project One is the place to start. 1 hour, one person, one life changed. On today's show, we'll feature an organization that is changing lives and transforming our community. So get ready to be inspired. Here's the host of Project One, Jan Johnson.
We want to welcome you today to Project One, and I want to just encourage you to hang on and stay with us as we go through this next 30-minute program, because I have a great organization that we are featuring today, and I'm just thrilled to have in studio Kevin Johnson, who is the founder of an amazing organization called Project Angel Fairs, and I'm so glad that you're here with us, Kevin, and we're going to hear more about your organization.
Absolutely. We are very honored and very blessed to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And as I usually do before we get into the interview, I like to read something that kind of just pulls everything together about why it is that we are doing Project One and why we would like to bring to the focus of our listening audience, and plus others that listen on the podcast, about why we want to highlight organizations like yourself. And just as a reminder, Project One was developed a couple of years ago where we wanted to take our amplification that we have through the airways and let all of our listening audience know about amazing organizations that are making a difference, not only in our community, but for many throughout the different counties, the state, and also nationwide. And some of our organizations that we've featured are even worldwide. And it's just a privilege to be able to bring these to you, so that way you can get in touch and find out about them. And of course, I always want to remind you about checking our website by going to this station's website and click on the link that says Project One, and you can get all the information about the upcoming mixers, where you can actually meet these organizations in person, get to talk with them, get to find out how you can get involved. And as I was preparing for today, I found this really great quote, and in light of how things are going in our nation right now, I think we need to be reminded of this. But it said, volunteers are the only human beings on the face of the earth who reflect the nation's compassion, unselfish caring, patience, and just plain loving one another in time of need or just in our current times. And Kevin, as I think about your organization, that is definitely what you have done. You found a need and decided to do something about it. So tell us about Project Angel Fairs.
Thank you, Jan. Absolutely, especially in times that are happening right now, the volunteer is so urgent, and it's been highlighted tremendously recently. And what we do at Project Angel Fairs is we bring in special needs families from all around the United States to San Antonio and to Morgan's Wonderland, and we scholarship that, we fund it, and these are families that cannot otherwise afford to come, and we bring them to Morgan's Wonderland,
which is a terrific place. We've done our Easter egg hunt there for several years in a row.
It really is, and it stands by itself. It is the most amazing place, especially in the special needs community. So we bring them in. They go through an application process, and we bring them in for a 4-day weekend. And they have the time of their life. It's like a dream for these families to be able to see their families and see their children with special needs, and just experience things they've never experienced before.
Now, you're the founder of it.
My wife and I founded it, yes.
What just kind of got into your heart to say, we need to do this?
So we were at a fundraiser back in October of 2012, and Gordon Hartman was there.
Yeah.
And so I snuck over to his table because God had just talked to me and my wife in a sense to where it was time to really develop something really special and do something for the community. And so we were searching for what that was. So we met with Gordon that night and just kind of sat down and had a brainstorm and said, do you ever anticipate scholarship and families to come to this amazing park you're building? And he's like, Kevin, I would love to say yes, but I think I have a lot on my plate right now.
Sure.
And so I'm going to say, at this time, not able to do that. So I said, well, here's what we have on our mind. We thought we wanted to start a foundation to where we could fund that. We could do fundraisers, and we could fund families that could never otherwise afford to come. And And he's like, Kevin, I would love for you to do that. I would love to partner up with you on that sense to where our park was available to your recipients at any time you want, and it would be, a great idea. And here we are now, 5 years later and 66 families later.
Really?
Yeah.
Incredible. Now, you said you wanted to start a foundation. What caused that?
It's hard to answer that because we don't have special needs children. We don't have any family members, even distant family members, that have special needs children. It's just they touch our heart. And to be exact, we one night we were watching Extreme Home Makeover.
Yes.
And this was right about that time. And there was a family on there. The boy's name was Jake Rise. And he absolutely tore at our heart because this kid had brittle bone disease and he had broken every bone in his body multiple times except for his neck. And he was just, his vibrance, it was just amazing how he lived his life. And at the time he was 9 years old, same as our son's age. And we were like, this is the boy. This is the boy that we want to bring to San Antonio. This is the type of children that we want to bring to San Antonio because they don't have it they don't have that kind of facility anywhere else.
Right.
So that's when we just dug deep and started.
So you saw, you and your wife were sitting there and you watched this television program, which I think I remember that episode.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
And you saw an opportunity to say, how can I help?
Exactly. That's exactly what we did.
And then God took that seed and just basically watered it and has now turned it into this amazing organization called Project Angel Fairs.
Yes, ma'am.
So did he get to come?
So, absolutely. We said if we're going to do this, we want him to be our first recipient, but had no way of knowing how to get a hold of him. So we dug and dug and dug and finally found out that he was nominated for Extreme Home Makeover by Easter Seals.
Oh, okay.
In Peoria, Illinois. And so we reached out to Easter Seals, and Easter Seals reached out to the family. The family called me. One thing led to another, and it's amazing.
Wow.
He's all over our website, and he will always forever be, special in our heart.
And if you go to the station's website and click on the tab Project One, we'll have all of the information that both Kevin and I will be talking about with Project Angel Fairs, to include not only how to get in touch with them, their website, and of course I'm looking at these pictures right now that were on the website, and you'll just look at it and think, wow, I need to get involved with this. But also some upcoming events that Kevin and I will be talking about later on in the program that is coming up and around the corner. So, Kevin, talk to me about how individuals get in contact with you and how they apply to get involved. What's the process?
Sure. So we are all over social media. So people that are on Instagram or in social media and Facebook and such. But we through our website and through Morgan Wonderland website, they can click on our link and go to the application process.
Okay.
So they go through the process, and there's just several very standard, trips of a lifetime type questions and processes they go through, and their health condition and requirements and travel restrictions and stuff like that. Because we do fund all their airfare, or if they have to drive, we'll rent them a van, a vehicle. So we fund all that, and so we want to know, what can their health withstand and stuff. So those are just standard questions, and then we do qualify them based on income, because our goal and our mission on our foundation is the underprivileged that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it.
Because they probably have seen it and seen advertising about it, because it is the only place in the country of this type, and it is absolutely incredible. And of course, this summer they added the water park, which is amazing. But as you look at that and you see people who come and find out from you that they have been accepted to come, how long is it between them saying yes, or you guys telling them, yes, you can come, and we want to make the arrangements, until they step foot onto Morgan's Wonderland?
It's been literally from less than 30 days to up to 2 or 3 months, depending on their schedule and vacation schedule and stuff. So some people are like so excited, and the condition of the children sometimes is very touchy, and so the sooner the better. depending on what long-term prognosis is. So that's played a role in some. And so a lot of that depends, but it's definitely not longer than what we wanted. It's quick for us. We're ready to make a move when we decide to bring them.
And what's the typical length of a trip that?
It's a 4-day trip.
Okay.
4-day trip. Typically they come in on Thursday or Friday, and then they'll leave Monday or Tuesday.
And they go to Morgan's Wonderland. Is there anything else that you involve?
Yeah, so so this city is amazing, right? So we have the best city in the world, and we obviously the priority is to bring them into Morgan's, and they also then we give them many other choices. So we'll send them to SeaWorld, which SeaWorld has been amazing because they will give them back of the house tours for the special needs, and that's fantastic. And we'll send them to the zoo, sometimes it's museum if the weather's bad. So we'll accommodate whatever that they're interested in.
That's incredible.
And some choose to pick every day to go back to Morgan's, which is great too.
Well, and if you've not gone out to Morgan's Wonderland, you need to go out there, because one of the things that I love about the park, and also in talking and working with Ron Miranda and the staff of Morgan's Wonderland for our Easter egg hunt that we used to have there, is it's all inclusive. So for kids that may not be from dealing with special needs, it's an incredible park, and it's huge.
Yeah, it really is.
You don't think it's really that big, but it's a good couple-day event if you want to explore and be a part of everything. So when we're getting ready to go to break, and Kevin, what I'd love to do when we come back from break is just to find out how San Antonians, or those that are in our surrounding communities, can get involved with you guys. Let's talk about avenues that people can get involved. And I know you've got some great stories that you want to talk about, and maybe another family that has come in, and we'd love to hear about that. But I just encourage you that if you're wanting to get some information while we're on break, just go to this station's website and click on the tab Project One, and you'll find out all of the information about Project Angel Fairs, and you can even see a great picture of Kevin in the section where you get to find out all about the organization. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back, and we will continue to talk with Kevin with Project Angel Fairs and find out how you can get involved, or your family, or your business. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Kids in trouble by third grade, marked for long-term problems. Adults who can't read. Young women alone and pregnant. Workplaces and careers that don't support faith. New Christians struggling to establish their faith. The need is everywhere. Introducing Project One, the mentoring initiative. One person, 1 hour, one life changed. Project One is a call for mentoring in San Antonio. One city, one people, one society, one future for our children. Project One person can make a difference. Just 1 hour per week will help mentor those who need it. That one person is you.
Learn more by clicking on the Project One tab on this station's website.
We want to welcome you back to Project One, where I'm in studio with Kevin Johnson. Actually, no relation, by the way. Great name.
Thank you very much.
But
likewise.
We are talking about Project Angel Fairs, an organization and a foundation that Kevin and his wife started back in 2011. And we are just thrilled to find out all of the information that you have. And we were talking on break, and we were talking about how individuals can get involved. So let's talk to our listening audience. Let them know ways that you could utilize their help.
No, absolutely. So the easiest way is to either get on the website and call Sharon Kreitzberg, who's our director for the foundation, and she will help you. And/or there's a volunteer page to get on and register. But the volunteerism is very simple, but it's very heartwarming because, this year we will bring probably right around 16 families by the time we're done. We have 3 more this year. And we meet the families at the airport. So we greet. So volunteers that want to do that, they're more than welcome to get in touch with Sharon and get on that schedule. So we'll meet them at the airport and make them feel very special. And then the next morning, typically this next morning is when we meet them at Morgan's Wonderland. Mm-hmm. And through my company, encourage as many employees that can go during that time period. So typically we'll have 15 or so employees that come, which is fortunately only about a mile away from the Morgan's Wonderland, which is amazing because they're so excited and they get very very touched when they come and help greet
What
the
a
families.
fun job. Going
Yeah.
into work and hearing, let's go to the Morgans.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it is very special. So so many people we get there volunteer to just come out and greet them, spend a few minutes with the family and make them feel special is one way. And then of course our events. We have events.
Yeah, so talk about some of the events. I know we will have on this station's website by going to the tab Project One. We'll have all of the information of some upcoming events that you're going to be sharing about. But tell us in general what kind of events you have throughout the year for fundraising.
Absolutely. So we do. Typically, we have three fundraisers, three events, and they're spring, summer, and fall.
Okay.
We'll do in the spring. We have our largest event, which is our golf tournament.
Okay.
Which is absolutely amazing, and that's typically in April.
Okay. And where do you normally have that? Just at different golf
Canyon
resorts?
Springs is what we've had it the last couple of years.
Okay.
So that'll be in April in 2018, and that'll be at Canyon Springs Golf Club. And then we have in the summer, we do, which is a lot of people's favorite, because it's a family event, and that is our bowling event. We do a bowling, a Saturday afternoon bowling event, which is absolutely a blast. We take on the entire bowling alley, and it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and that's very special because the children and everybody's involved.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And then in the fall we always do a 5K run.
Okay.
And that we canceled this year. It was coming up very soon, but we actually canceled it. We just felt compelled with all the giving and things going on in the world today and all the help that was needed in Texas, especially. We just didn't feel like it was right to ask.
Right. Wow.
Ask for sponsorship and ask for money. And when we felt like, and we encouraged all of our sponsors, typically that sponsor us to get out and give that normal sponsorship to, the Texas border that needs it the worst.
That's huge.
So
that's huge.
So we did drop that this year, but we'll be back at it next year. For
Absolutely. Well, and I would encourage our listeners, just as Kevin had said, so many people have been giving back to not only our community, but to our state and around the country with all of the tragedy that has gone here recently. But just realize that many of the people that have been affected are people that have kids with special needs.
Absolutely.
And so if you've been helping in other ways, thank you. We thank you for that. It's amazing to watch the community pull together and be a part to just kind of unite our country to help one another. But just think of these families that have been affected, not only in Texas and Florida and up and down the East Coast. There's families with special needs, and what an awesome opportunity that if they've gone through tragedy and if they've gone through this hardship, to give them that opportunity to be able to come to San Antonio and go to Morgan's Wonderland and experience what Project Angel Fairs does. So the way that they can do that and make it possible for those individuals, of course, is by donations, and they are a 501c3, so it is tax deductible. I would strongly encourage you just to reach out to Kevin and his staff and find out, okay, how can I get involved? Let me know what I can do. And especially if you're an organization that you think, okay, it's coming up towards the end of the year, excuse me, and I would love to get involved somehow with making a difference, I would encourage you to spend time in talking with Kevin to see how you can get involved and become one of the sponsors. And again, another great thing is if you've got an organization and you would like to get your employees and do something that's team building, go out and join them at Morgan's Wonderland.
Absolutely. You won't regret it. I mean, the way it touches your employees' hearts and anybody else it's very heartwarming. Very heartwarming, as it is with the recipients I meant to mention earlier. Jake is just one example, but because it happens on every family, we hear one particular thing that just really touches you. When Jake came, he was swinging on the swing, which he had never done that before in his life. And he started telling his mom he has butterflies in his stomach. Well, he has never mentioned that word ever. I mean, it's never even crossed his mind.
He probably never experienced
and he didn't.
that.
And he actually said butterflies, like he knew something was fluttering, and she just lost it, and the excitement that we get out is not necessarily just seeing their face and seeing stuff, but because we don't know them. the parents know them, the families know them, and when they see them do stuff that they've never done before, that's what just tears us up, because they're like, he has never responded in that way. He has never done this. She has never done that. And it's like, wow.
And to have them experience a feeling that they didn't even know that they had.
That existed, yeah. Pretty incredible.
Wow.
Pretty
and
incredible.
You were going to tell me about another family that had come in. Tell us about somebody else that you have touched. Have you reached anybody locally to be involved in it?
Well, we actually brought a family in about a year and a half ago. I don't want to get my dates wrong, but right around a year and a half, 2 years ago. And they were from Victoria, Texas.
Yeah.
And this family was very, very special, and obviously not very needy, because it's very close. Mm-hmm. So they were needy in the sense of the finances part, but they were close. So we welcomed the opportunity to bring them here, and it was just some hotel expenses and food and rent car. But they were an amazing family. They're so amazing. And Stephen, the child at the time, he at the time he had been very sick, and he was terminal at the time when they brought him in, but he had, good days and bad days, and that day was just a spectacular day. He was just amazed and outgoing and full of energy, and they just didn't know what it was going to be like. So they brought him and went through that process, and then went home, and very shortly afterwards, Stephen passed away. And Stephen has only been our very first. He has been our only recipient that has ever passed.
And you've got him on the website.
And he is on the website, and he's now memorialized at Morgan's Wonderland.
Wow.
So Gordon, we were honored. Melissa and my wife were honored last year on their Wall of Fame. We were recipients at their gala, and that was an incredible evening. But this year was even more special because Stephen was honored on their memorial wall.
And what a humbling experience, Kevin, to be able to say, I helped make probably one of the last joyous events for this little guy.
No doubt about it. And the family's been incredible, and they've come in and spoken at our golf tournaments and helped raise funds, and just, that's the thing. Everybody that comes becomes friends. They become family and friends. Last weekend we had a family come, and at the same time we had a family return on another scholarship trip from another charity from Colorado, I believe. So they came, and we spent time with them. We got to spend time with them at the same day as we spent time with the family that we brought in, and it was pretty neat. So that was a return trip from a couple of years ago.
And you said that you've had over
66 families so far.
And then you expected to have how many this year?
Typically, we'll probably end up right around 6. I think 16. I think we got 13 so far, and 3 more this year.
And then how many do you project to do next year?
Our goal is to keep raising, depending on fundraising. So we'll bring as many as 25, I think, is what we kind of set as a max to really be able to take care of them, do it right. And a lot of it depends on the weather and restrictions, because during bad weather we've had to cancel some trips and push them out, and so it's delayed a little bit. But our first year was 3. And then it was 7, and then it was,
amazing.
So it's been fantastic.
And just think of the lives that you have touched, and you specifically think about the special needs child, but what you're doing maybe for the siblings that have come along too, and also for the family members.
Oh, that is, because the siblings and the family members get to see this special feeling that it gives to their brothers and or sister, but they also get to travel, and because they're not the only. They go through a lot of trauma. The families.
It
it's
affects
tough.
the entire family.
It really does, and they're they're very blessed to have the special needs communities. Children are blessed to have the family and friends and siblings that go through that with them and make them feel special.
Well, Kevin, your organization is absolutely heart-wrenching and heart-touching, and I just want to thank you for, taking that seed and seeing something and thinking, what can I do? Because often we see it and we think, oh, somebody else will take care of that. But you and your wife saw that and took that seed and has made it grow into this amazing organization that is reaching people around the country. And I just want to thank you and humbly say, however we can help you here at the station to promote your events, let us know. We'd be glad to. And, of course, our next mixer, we will invite Kevin and some of his staff to come out to the mixer so you can meet him and find out how you can get involved. And, of course, for more information on Project Angel Fairs, go to the station's website and click on the tab Project One, and you'll have all of the contact information of how you can either apply to have a family come or apply to get involved. And as we get ready to go for the rest of the day, I just want to thank you, Kevin, again, for taking the time to make people feel special. Just with you even talking about it, I'm just sitting here thinking, you know what else can I do? And a lot of times we just need that challenge. Thank you for challenging us today.
Thank you, Jan. It definitely has that effect on people, and we're blessed to be able to spread the message.
Well, again, you're listening to Project One, and thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.